Welcome back to Farmtips Diary. Today, we're focusing on 3 words that define the lifeblood of modern agriculture: fuel, fertilizer, feed. They are the silent giants behind every planting, every harvest, and every livestock operation. But lately, they've become the triple threat farmers everywhere are struggling with. In this episode, we break down why these 3 cost pillars are inflating faster than ever, how they're connected, and what this means for farming's future. If you're a consumer, you've likely seen it reflected in your grocery bill, but understanding the why is critical to finding a path forward. If you're a farmer, you're already feeling the pressure. Let's start with the first threat: fuel. Fuel powers nearly every phase of farming, from diesel in tractors and harvesters to the trucks that bring your produce to market. Fuel is the energy that keeps everything moving, but inflation has made this energy unaffordable. At times, diesel prices have doubled in just a few months. And while some relief has come in isolated areas, volatility remains the norm. Over the past 2 years, global fuel prices have fluctuated wildly. Farmers now face unpredictability when it comes to fuel budgeting. It becomes a threat to survival. You plan your planting schedule, and then the fuel bill comes in and it's 30% higher than last year. You prepped for harvest and discovered transport costs have wiped out any profit you were expecting. And if you store your harvest while waiting for better market prices, cold storage energy bills eat into your margins every single day. Even irrigation in many regions relies on fuel-powered pumps. For farmers who depend on consistent water access, the fuel spike is more than just a cost increase. Next, we dig into fertilizer, the second part of this inflation trifecta. Fertilizer costs have soared, and it's not by accident. Several global factors are driving this. First, many fertilizers depend on natural gas, which itself is experiencing price surges. Second, key producing countries like China and Russia have imposed export controls or faced shipping disruptions. Third, currency fluctuations have made importing fertilizer more expensive, especially in developing nations. This combination is squeezing farmers everywhere. A farmer in the Philippines may suddenly find the cost of urea has doubled, and inflation in the grain markets is pushing this cost through the roof. A farmer in Brazil might cut nitrogen use by 40% to stay on budget. When grain prices go up due to fuel or fertilizer inflation, feed becomes more expensive to produce. Even in developed countries, bulk fertilizer orders are being delayed or slashed to avoid massive upfront payments. Less fertilizer means lower yields. Lower yields mean lower revenue or even losses, especially for crops that are nutrient intensive, like corn, wheat, or rice. And the pain doesn't stop there. The third threat we explore today is feed. Feed may be the least talked about input, but its impact is enormous. If you're raising livestock, whether chickens, pigs, cows, or even fish feed is your largest recurring cost, wheat and corn are primary ingredients in many animal feeds. This creates a vicious cycle. As fertilizer gets more expensive, less grain is grown. That pushes feed prices higher, making livestock more costly to raise. And for farmers in poultry or dairy, this becomes a daily financial balancing act. Do you reduce herd size? Do you try alternative feeds? Do you hold out for government subsidies? All while watching margins disappear. And here's the kicker. Even small changes in these three costs, fuel, fertilizer, and feed, can erase months of hard work and planning. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine a mid-sized farmer growing rice, using fuel-powered tractors and irrigating with diesel pumps. Last year, they spent $10,000 on fuel, $15,000 on fertilizer, and sold their harvest for $50,000. This year, fuel costs rise by 40%. Fertilizer rises by 60%. Suddenly, their costs increase by over $10,000 and their selling price only improves slightly or not at all. That's a financial trap, and it's playing out globally. Profit margins are no longer slim. They are disappearing. In many cases, farmers are working just to break even. Some are dipping into savings. Some are taking out risky loans just to get through another season. And others are walking away from farming altogether. This erosion of profit not only affects individual livelihoods, it weakens entire rural economies, disrupts food security, and challenges the future of agriculture itself. But farmers are not just sitting back and letting this happen. They're adapting. Let's now explore the survival strategies that are helping farmers fight back against this triple threat. Strategy 1. Precision technology. Farmers are turning to data-driven tools and smart machinery to reduce waste and increase efficiency. GPS-guided tractors help reduce overlapping fuel use. Soil testing tools tell you exactly how much fertilizer you need and where. Sensor-based irrigation ensures that water and fuel are used only when absolutely necessary by cutting unnecessary inputs. Precision tech allows farmers to stretch every dollar. And in an inflation-heavy environment, that edge matters more than ever. Strategy 2. Buying cooperatives. Input costs drop when farmers band together. Buying co-ops allow multiple farmers to place bulk orders for fertilizer, fuel, or feed. This not only drives down per unit prices, but gives negotiating power when suppliers raise costs suddenly. In many regions, these cooperatives are also exploring localized storage, seed exchange systems, and even shared transport options to reduce dependency on fluctuating markets. It's not just about lowering prices. It's about regaining control. Strategy 3. New sourcing models. Farmers are breaking away from traditional supply chains. Instead of relying on large multinational input suppliers, they are experimenting with locally produced organic composts, biofertilizers from agri-tech startups, crop rotation strategies that reduce external input reliance on farm feed production. Using leftover crops or vertical green fodder systems, these alternatives don't eliminate the need for inputs, but they reduce dependence on volatile suppliers and global pricing trends. Let's revisit our original 3 threats now: fuel, fertilizer, and feed with a new lens. It takes time. It takes access. It takes education. They are still rising. They are still volatile. These will trace back to fuel, fertilizer, and feed. But the way farmers respond is changing. It's no longer about waiting for subsidies or hoping for lower prices. It's about rethinking the way farming is done, from smart tools to smart networks, from bulk buying to local sourcing, from reactive decision-making to proactive planning. This shift isn't easy. But it is happening, and it's what will define the next decade of farming. If you've made it this far into the episode, we want to thank you. Your insight might help another farmer feel less alone in this storm. This issue isn't just affecting farms. It's affecting food systems, and ultimately, it's affecting families everywhere. Rising food prices, shorter product shelves, reduced product quality. The better we understand the forces at play, the more prepared we all are to respond. So let's recap the 3 real-world solutions farmers are using right now to fight back. Precision technology to reduce waste and optimize input use. Every week, we share real stories, data, and strategies from the front line of agriculture, buying cooperatives to unlock better pricing and collective power. New sourcing models to avoid over-reliance on global price shocks. These strategies won't fix inflation overnight, but they do provide real leverage in a time of cost instability. What's hitting your operation hardest right now? Is it fuel, fertilizer, feed, or all 3? Drop a comment below, and don't forget, if you found this breakdown helpful, like this video and subscribe to Farmtips Diary. Until next time, stay sharp, stay prepared, and keep growing smarter.